Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Swag Her Magazine community. If this is the first time we're meeting, hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Jessica Canty. I am your life and career strategist. You might be thinking, welcome. You might be thinking, what is a life and career strategist? Welcome. Well, I have a passion for helping people move from unfulfilled jobs into their dream careers. I want them to not have to deal with the frustrations of Monday morning or dragging themselves in the office. Welcome, everybody. I want them to have the salary that they want. And so that's why I call myself a life and career strategist. Welcome, everybody. It's so great to see you all this evening. If this is the first time you're joining our conversation, this is actually day 4 of a week-long conversation about career acceleration. On Monday, we talked about resumes. We talked about all the great elements you need to wow that HR representative that's going to be looking at your HR. Because the average time they look at it is just 30 seconds. So I want you to impress them, and your resume goes to the top of the pile. On Tuesday, thank you for the love. On Tuesday, we talked about interviews, how to slay those interviews, because they can trip you up. There are different types of interviews. They can ask you a challenging question that may leave you stumped. And we wanted to make sure that you were able to overcome that. Yesterday, we talked about building your executive board, because your career is like you're the CEO of your career. And all wise CEOs put people on their team that are subject matter experts that are designed to be there to help them to excel and to be profitable and productive. So you're the CEO of your career. Make sure you have your dream team around you. We talked about that last night. That's sort of a summary of what we talked about on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If you missed out, I'm so sorry. Wish you were there. But you can find the replay on Swag Her Magazine's page, or you can go to my YouTube channel because I posted our whole conversation on there. So you can get all caught up. You can hear what we were talking about, some of the questions and conversation that took place. And you want to do that because you want to make sure that 2020 finds you in a job that you absolutely love. So now that we're caught up in our conversation, tonight's conversation is going to be about your superpower. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Tonight's conversation is all about your superpower because I want to help you discover it. So the first thing I want to do is to make some administrative announcements first. I talked a little bit about what we talked about and where you can find the information. And last night I made a big announcement and I was thrilled to make it. So I'm so excited to make it again. Next week, I'm going to be sending out a series of worksheets and assignments to help you to practice what we talked about this week and get prepared for the following week. We're having a workshop. So if you're interested in those worksheets and assignments that are going to help you to have a phenomenal resume that artificial intelligence can't touch, the recession can't touch, if you're interested in making sure you slay your upcoming interview, if you want your executive board in place before that workshop, make sure you message me at Jessica Canty or at Swag Her Magazine, because they'll make sure we stay in contact. They brought this great content to you. Or you can email me at jessicacanty@jessicacanty.com. You want to do that before Sunday. Don't wait too late. While you're on the internet, go ahead and drop a message to Swag Her Magazine or to me and send me your email, because next week is going to be that grinding period of putting into work what we talked about this week. So that's next week. Then the following week, we're going to have a workshop, and it's called the Top 5 Secrets that Working Professionals Need to Know to Move from Their Unfulfilled Jobs to Their Dream Careers. So if you do all the lives this week and you review the YouTube channel and you do all the worksheets and assignments that I'm going to be sending to you via email, you'll be prepped to receive all the wisdom that I'm going to share on that week. You don't have to wait till that week to reserve your spot. You can go to my page right now and click on Get Tickets and go ahead and reserve your seat. And you want to do that. You want your face in the place to receive this powerful information, because 2020 is going to find you smiling when you walk into the office. 2020 is going to find you smiling when you're setting up your business, your entrepreneurship, making sure that you are living out your passions. So now that we've got the announcements out of the way, let's get into the content. So you might be wondering, Jessica, what are you asking? What are we talking about superpower? I'm looking over here at my notes because I want to make sure I got so much information and I'll get excited and we'll be on here to midnight. But I want to make sure I stick to my agenda. You might be asking, why did I talk about a superpower? Well, this is why. Think about your favorite superhero. Your favorite superhero is endowed with specific skills to address specific challenges. They are granted sometimes at birth, sometimes by accident, sometimes by some weird chemical spill. I used to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They used to be some of my favorite superheroes. And they're given that to vanquish certain foes, to make sure that people are protected by certain villains. So when we're connecting that to your career, we're talking that everybody on this live and anybody you shared with has specific and unique skills that they are given to address challenges that no one else is designed to do. I often teach a class on how to create your elevator speech, how to create your personal introduction that's going to shock and wow people, that looks different than everybody else. Thank you for that love. That lets me know I'm giving you some good information. And what I asked the class is, if you had any superpower in the world, what would it be? So I'm just curious from you all, if you had any superpower in the world, what would it be? If you could be any superpower, what would it be? Give me some of your answers. What might it be? What might your superpower be if you had any superpower in the world? If I said tonight, I'm going to come and sprinkle magic fairy dust on you, and you woke up tomorrow morning, you had a superpower, what would you hope that superpower would be? I'll give you a few seconds. While you all are thinking about it, I'll tell you what most of my participants say. Most of my class participants and most of my coachees always come up with superpowers that are going to alleviate the challenges in their day. So some people say, I wish I had the ability to fly. Because I work and what the people I mainly serve are in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, which is why I'm so excited to meet you all in the Swag Her community, Swag Her magazine community, to be able to expand the help and assistance I provide. But most of them say they want to be able to fly because the traffic in this area is horrible. And on top of the traffic, parking is like not next to non-existent. And so they want to be able to fly. Ooh, to successfully market ego, whoever I choose. Ooh, I like that. Yes. So you could just market it and they're hanging on your every word. That's an excellent superpower. I like it. And it's targeted. Keep that in mind when we talk about superpowers, because it sounds like you have your finger on the pulse. Rick Wells photos, it sounds like you have your finger on the pulse as what you do and how you change the world, how you transform the career field that you're in. So that's a good one. Some other superpowers that my participants usually say is, I wish I had the ability to read minds, or I wish I had the ability to heal hearts. I wish I had the ability to travel through time. I wish I had the ability to clone myself. And all of these with superpowers, whenever they say it, I could almost automatically assume what the main challenge in their life is, because they need something to address that challenge. So when we're talking about superpowers, you all are designed to address specific challenges for employers and employees. So if I'm an entrepreneur, you are specifically designed to erase the challenge for your customers. As employees, your superpower is specifically designed to vanquish the challenges of your future employers. So that's how you have to think about it. When you're creating your resume, when you're writing your interview, when you got your dream team around you, they are fine-tuning your and showcasing the skills that you have to come in and radically change whatever career field you're going into, whatever agency you're going to work for, whatever company you're going to work for, whatever customers you plan to serve. You have the unique talent, ability, gifts, and skills to eradicate their challenges. And the wonderful thing about that is that we all can have similar talents and skills, but no one can do it the way that we do it. What do I mean by that? I want to share with you all an embarrassing moment, and actually quite a heartbreaking moment that I had. I shared with someone who's very close to me, a very close family member, that I wanted to go into business. And I shared with this person what I wanted to do. And they shared with me, they said, no, you're not going to be successful in that because there's too many people that do that. There's too many people out there that do it. So you need to go ahead and spend your wills or spend your time and effort to do something different. And boy, was I heartbroken. I was heartbroken in the car when I walked away. I was heartbroken when I went to the store. But I happened to go to a bulk store in the area I live in. And I went down the aisle because I needed new toothpaste. I ran out of toothpaste and I said, I got to go and get myself some toothpaste. When I went down the aisle, I saw that there was several brands of toothpaste, all designed to make sure that your breath is fresh, your teeth are healthy, your gums are healthy, that you've got white teeth. And all of these companies are able to sell in one place. And I bet you everybody on this call or on this live or watching this video at a later time, you know what brand of toothpaste you like. You could choose from 20 different brands, but you know when you go in that toothpaste aisle, I'm going to go for this toothpaste. I've been using this. My mom used to use this. My grandmother used to use this. It might have been generational. And you could apply that to anything. Your specific brand of soap you like, your specific brand of detergent that you like. And there may be even some people who create their own toothpaste. But what that says is that no matter what, those companies didn't care that the market had so many people out there creating toothpaste. And I want you all to get out of the mindset that, well, what I do isn't very unique than other people, or it's sort of similar to somebody else. I don't want you to compare yourself to anybody else. What you do and what you offer is created to create change in other people's life. So that's what we're talking about on tonight's call. For some people, it's hard to tap into what they're passionate about. It's hard to tap into what they really want to do with their career. So they are in their current positions and they're miserable, but they don't know a way out. They don't have that mentor that can tell them this is what you need to do differently. They don't have their coach that can say to them, hey, consider this. Have you done this evaluation? Have you tried this tactic? But you are in the right place to find out what your superpower might be. So let's talk a little bit about that. One of the things that great people typically have happen to them, and I know I'm talking to great people because you're here investing in your future, is that there's always somebody picking your brain about something. Am I the only person that's like that, where somebody will say, well, what do you think about this? What have you seen this in the news, or what are your thoughts about that? And I know that there's certain topics that they'll pick my brain about. Because I'm a life and career strategist, they'll say, what do you think about this resume? And this is even before I became one. They would say, Jessica, can you look over my resume? Or can you practice with me for my interview? What do you think about this outfit? I've been invited to this event and I'm not sure the proper attire to wear. What's the proper etiquette when I get to this meal? People over and over again would ask me these types of questions. Or they would ask, can you come speak about this? And I didn't have a title or anything. It was just that my brain was being consistently picked. So I'm curious from you all, what are things that people ask you to help with? Or what are the things that people ask your opinion about? Tell me a little bit about that in the comment section. What is it that people ask your opinion on or ask your expertise about? I'll give you a few seconds. What do people ask you about? I'm looking over my notes so I can make sure I'm helping you to begin to think about that. If you're challenged with that, I'm going to ask you some more questions. I don't see very many questions there. But by the end of our conversation tonight, I want you to have all the information that you need to create your elevator speech. So you've got to know your superpower in order to create your elevator speech. Some of you may be wondering, what is an elevator speech? Let me tell you. If you've ever rode on an elevator, typically your time on the elevator is short, especially if the building is not very tall and there's not very many stories. The current building that I work out of has 5 floors. So from the time I get on, if I get on at the basement or on the first floor, I'm probably only in the elevator for about 30 seconds to a minute, maybe a minute and a half if someone keeps pushing buttons for each floor. So the thought process behind an elevator speech is that you only have the time that from the time you get on the elevator to the time you get off to be able to sell yourself to somebody. You might be getting on the elevator as an entrepreneur with a potential funder, with someone who's ready to fund your dream, with someone who's ready to invest in the transformation you're going to cause for others. But you only got 30 seconds to give it to them quick. So you can't pull out that resume. You can't pull out all the, welcome, so happy to see you. You might not be able to pull out all your interview skills, but you know what you do and what you do well. So you've got 30 seconds to 130, like about a minute and 30 seconds to sell yourself to them. Same thing for those who are employees. You might get on the elevator. Awesome. Welcome. You might get on the elevator with the head of your company, and you've got 30 seconds to wow them, to pique their interest or as to what you can do for their company, as to why they should promote you, as to why they should give you the funding to start a new program at their company. So you only have a few seconds to do that. Now for me, I know my elevator speech, I sort of give at the beginning of every call. I say, my name is Jessica Canty. I am your life and career strategist. I help people go from unfulfilled jobs to their dream careers. I help them step into their dream salary. That's my elevator speech. I can say that between the first and second floor. That's enough information for you to know whether or not you want to talk to me. You might not be interested in careers. You might be interested in selling cookies or selling some life insurance. So having a conversation with me, welcome, may not be beneficial to you, but it's enough to pique your interest to want to know more. So everyone needs to have in their arsenal their elevator speech. It's somewhat of a verbal business card. That's what an elevator speech is. It's a verbal business card. It says so much more than just your email and your phone number. It says what change you're able to provide. And so I really want you all to have it so that someone wants to say, oh, I want to be your sponsor, like we talked about last night. Oh, really? That's what you do? Oh, really? That's how you help the community? That's how you change lives? I want to be connected to that. So that's what an elevator speech is. But you've got to be clear on what your superpower is in order to determine that. So a couple of things you need to ask yourself is, I'm going to pose you all some questions. If you've got the answers, feel free to share in the comments section. If you want to just kind of journal about them and write them down and make sure you sign up for the email, because I've got some more sheets and exercises for you to be able to work that out to be able to use your superpower in every aspect of your career hunt. So the other question is, I'm curious, what excites you? What would you do even if you didn't get a salary? What do you lose time? What do you lose track of time in? Do you find yourself reading certain books about certain careers? Do you find yourself watching endless YouTube hours about one particular topic? Do you find yourself going on, what was it, like Amazon Prime, and you're downloading the books and you're like, I keep getting suggestions for a specific genre of subjects or specific genre of books. That might lie and highlight what your passions are. The things that you're passionate about. Because you can lose yourself in those things. Now you might be asking me, why does that even matter? That's just a hobby. That's just something I do when I have downtime. Why? Because a lot of people are in unfulfilled jobs because it's nothing there to motivate them. It's nothing there that excites them. It's drudgery. It's mundane tasks. Day after day, the only thing that changes is the date on the calendar. But when you can lose yourself in a book, when you can lose yourself in studying things, if you look at your home library and you see the same books over and over again, that's what you're passionate about. So I'll have a moment of transparency because I know we're in a judgment-free zone. All throughout my house, I have books on etiquette. I am an etiquette enthusiast. I've got, as a matter of fact, as I'm talking to you all right now, welcome, welcome, welcome. I've got books in front of me right now. Jane Austen's Guide to Good Manners and What's a Hostess to Do. I've got books all over my house about etiquette. I love to learn about how to behave in different situations. And it's been connected to my drive to making people have the career that they want. So I know that I'm passionate about that. So when I say life and career strategist, it includes etiquette. It includes helping people to interact and navigate social settings that can make or break their career, that can make them noticeable to a future employer, that can make them noticeable to a future sponsor. So I know that about myself. I'm constantly curious about, so if I was to go to a tea, how I would behave. How would I behave if I was on an interview that was a meal interview? We didn't talk about that the other day, but that's an interview though. On a meal interview. I want to talk about that just here, just a little bonus point. A lot of interviews now are over a meal. They want to see, can you behave in social settings? How will you represent yourself with meals with our clients if you don't know which fork to use? If you think it's appropriate to put salt and pepper on your food before you even taste it. True story, an employer denied someone a job because he put salt and pepper on his food before he tasted it. And the boss said the reason why he didn't hire him is because you make decisions without assessing the situation. So just by putting salt and pepper, he lost a job opportunity. So my passion comes through for people and I'm able to talk to them about that. So let me ask you a little bit more questions. What new activities do you enjoy doing? Like, what is it that like piques your interest? That is there a hobby that you excel in? Is it something that you do after a stressful day at work that you can just lose yourself in? Even if you don't downplay Netflix and chilling. Because if people come to you and say, hey, what is the latest movie I should watch? What do you think I should be interested in? People have made whole careers blogging about the movies. And people will spend money or go to the movies. Thanks for the love. People will spend money or not spend money based on what a blogger said. That's a whole career on a passion that they have. Maybe you're a foodie. Maybe you're a person who loves to try out different restaurants. Again, I said I live in Clay, if you will, in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and there's several restaurants. And a lot of them will hire people to come in and give reviews because they know you have the influence. They know you have the following and the ear of people who are going to frequent their business. So when I'm asking you about your hobbies or what you like to do after a stressful day, this is very important. And I actually have an activity that's going to ask you to do an assessment of what you do when you get off of work every day. So if you want that assessment and you want to know what your passion is, you want to know how to turn that passion into promotion, you want to know how to turn that passion into a higher salary, if you want to know how to turn that passion into purpose-driven work, you want to be on that email list. So make sure you send me your email because I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited about you all having 2020 look different than 2019. I can only tell you, I'm so excited for this. So the other thing is, what you want to do is also identify what the world is missing. So this one is especially for those, welcome. This one is especially for those who are entrepreneurs. Specifically what the world is missing. You've got to find your niche market. I'm seeing commercials all day, every day about specific hair companies that are catering to specific types of hair. I'll use, for example, the African American community. We know that within that community, there's specific hair types. And it seems like almost every day I'm seeing a new company that's catering to that. What they recognized was that the market did not have products that catered to certain textures of hair for women of color. And now they're making millions of dollars on that. One woman, I think it was Carol's daughter, was mixing up things in her kitchen. This was what she did because out of necessity. The world didn't provide her with what she needed. So she decided to mix up some stuff, and her mom went in the kitchen, mixed up some things. And she went from mixing things in her kitchen to selling things on QVC to now being in your local Walmart and Target. based on just knowing that this is a need I have, and I think that other people have those needs. So what does the world need? What are you frustrated by? What frustrates you in the world? Necessity is the mother of invention, and you are inventing your company. For those who are employees, what is it that the company needs? What is it that the profession needs? They need something different. They need a niche. I'll use my profession or my educational background as an example. I got my master's degree in psychology, and so do I. I know her products have changed. And unfortunately, sometimes, companies change the more that they are publicly traded and things like that. But the story is a success, absolute success. What I was saying about my profession is that I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, my master's degree in social work, and I've been trained in transformational coaching and leadership. And I've had additional training and coaching. You're absolutely correct. Things change. It's unfortunate. But what I learned was that what my business needed, my specific agency that I worked for, was that supervisors were frustrated with their staff about their lack of professional decorum. Staff were frustrated with their supervisors for not helping them excel in their careers. HR was frustrated because people kept leaving the agency. The outside community were not being serviced well because there was not enough employees. So I went to my boss. I said, what you need is a professionalism course. What you need is somebody who's going to walk people through how to be professional. So I developed a 4-series workshop, and people got promoted just by going to these workshops. Thank you for the love. People got promoted. People presented new ideas to their bosses just by going to this workshop. Bosses had their jobs shifting and changing. They could actually support people in going in their careers because there was no path for career advancement in my current position. There was no path. There was no way. There was nobody telling you, okay, if you've been at this agency for 3 years, it's time to look for promotion. How do I do that? Who do I talk to? But when people left this class, they said, Jessica, please keep bringing this back. What is something else that you can bring? And that was all based on me noticing a gap in service. So I was able to carve out a niche for myself. Now people know when you want this type of training, this is who you need. Now people can sponsor me. They can be now my previous clients and my previous clients and class participants are acting as sponsors for me. They're saying to people, if you need help in your career, if you want to see something different, go see Jessica. So I want the same for you all. When they say your name, you're synonymous with something because you have a greater level of not moving beyond proficiency. Because that's what proficiency can drive complacency. Somebody needs to write that down. Proficiency can drive complacency, and complacency can lead to being unfulfilled. So I'm not just talking about what you're proficient in, because I'm proficient in doing a psychosocial. I can do that because that's my education. I'm proficient in organizing my time and teaching others how to do that because that's what makes my brain work well. But what my passion is, what I could talk about for hours, and I don't know if you guys can kind of pick it up, is helping people in their careers, helping them navigate those social situations that are going to go towards their dream career. Okay? So a couple of things that we want to, I want to make sure I hit on before we leave. I don't know if you guys remember back in 3rd and 4th grade. Remember your teacher might have made you do that Venn diagram where you had comparisons and differences. On the one side, you talked about one subject. On the other side, you talked about a different subject. And in the center, you talked about how they were similar. That's what I want you to do about your superpowers and what the world or your profession needs. On the one side, I want you to talk about what it is that you do well. What it is that you can do, ask yourself this question. Leave me on a desert island, and I'm sure to solve this problem. Leave me on a desert island, and I'm sure to help the team get off by doing this. Leave me on a desert island, and I'm sure to have this equipment with me because I never leave home without it. I know how to help people with it. So if Jessica was left on that desert island, I know that I could motivate others. I know that I could create a plan to success. I can map out the steps. I can get in there and do the work with the people. I can see the gaps and where their weaknesses are so I can get in and help them to create a strength. Leave me on a desert island. I'm going to make sure we create a banana boat off of there. I'm going to make sure that I can assess different people's skills, because that's what I can do. One of my passions is to draw out things. I like to talk to people about their skills and what they do in their 9 to 5 and what they do in their life outside work, their 5 to 9. What do they do from the time they get off of work to the time they go back to work? And it's worked so many times. I've been able to get people to stop downplaying what you do in your volunteer time. Stop downplaying what you do when you get home. And that's what I actually built my career on, what I did in my 5 to 9, not what I went to school for. So it doesn't have to be what you got your education in, because again, proficiency breeds complacency. Complacency leads to being unfulfilled. Unfulfilled leads to being burned out. Being burned out leads to not wanting to do anything for anybody. And you are too gifted, too special, too uniquely designed not to create a transformation in somebody's life. So we've got to get this together, because there are people who are waiting for you to show up with your superpower. Think about that. If they put the bat signal in the sky, they're waiting for Batman to come. They're waiting for Batman to vanquish the villains. They know Batman's got the equipment. He's got the tools. They know Batman is going to get those bad guys and move them out the way. He's going to get those citizens that are not abiding by the law. And if Batman doesn't show up, guess how many people will be hurt? Think about Gotham City. And that's who you all are. If you're not showing up with your skills, agencies can't fulfill their missions. If you're not showing up with your skills, customers are going to be running around not knowing how to solve their issues. So it's important that you know your superpower. Again, you all, if there's any questions that you have, please feel free to ask me while I'm chatting with you. Let's see what else we need to talk about. I think we kind of hit on everything. So to summarize what we're talking about when we talk about our specific talents, it's got to be, you have to be able to explain who you are within 30 seconds to 130 minutes. To 130 seconds. So you got a minute, half a minute to a minute and a half to say who you are, what you solve, and how you do it. You got to know what your skill is, what outcome you can provide, and how you do it. If 30 seconds or 130 seconds doesn't resonate with you, it seems like everybody has an Instagram account on here. You know you only have 1 minute to post a video. So test yourself. That's a challenge for you. In 1 minute video, in an Instagram video, explain who you are. If you can't get it in a minute, you got to pare that thing down. So you can do it on a live, you can do it on a video, but give yourself only 1 minute to say who you are, what outcomes you produce, and how you do that. And if that's still, so you can do the video, test yourself for 30 seconds to a minute and 30 seconds, or in characters. We know that Twitter and Instagram have a character limit. So can you say who you are within a character limit? So like if you were to redo your profile, can you put everything that you encompass within that character limit? So even tonight, your first assignment will be to make sure you send me your email so you can be included on these worksheets. Your second assignment will be to formulate your elevator speech. Put your superhero power in a sentence that's easy to comprehend, that people who don't speak your language can understand. Meaning, there's a social work language that, unless you're a social worker, you may not understand it. When I'm in a room speaking with lawyers, that sometimes that legalese can go over my head. Or if I read a medical journal, they would have to break that down in layman's terms for me. So you need to have it in simple language that's not too flowery. What do I mean by that? Leave the fluff behind. You only have 30 seconds to impress. Someone has to understand what it is that you're saying. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to see you here. So I want to give you just a mock way to begin to think about it. The first walkway was, leave me on a desert island, I'll be able to do this. The other thing is you want to think about the audience that you work for or that you work with. So who is it that you serve? So if someone were to ask me, I say, I work with working professionals. That's who I help, working professionals. Working professionals covers entrepreneurs. It covers people who are going to be employees. I help them go from unfulfilled jobs. Even though I do a lot of training, I do pageant training, welcome. I also do training on etiquette, everything from how to behave at a tea to how to get your wardrobe up to par. That's still a part of having a fulfilled job. So all of those things fit in it. A lot of times people bombard people and they don't know how to pare it down. So you need to know who you help, who's your audience, what outcome you provide, and how you do it. Okay, guys, that's the lesson. I hope I didn't talk your ear off. If you like what you heard, would you let me know? Like, can you let me know in the comment section, or give me a hand clap or a wave so I know that I'm giving you what you need? Or you can tell Swag Her Magazine, ooh, Jessica's giving us good wisdom. Bring her back. Oh, I love the love. Thank you. That lets me know I'm giving you what you need. So, a step further. Tomorrow is our last conversation for this week in this series. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rockstar Naturally. Okay. So tomorrow is the last workshop or the last live in this series. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the top 5 business etiquette skills. You know, I had to get to it because etiquette, ooh, I'm an etiquette enthusiast. I love it. So tomorrow we're going to talk about that. You want to join us on that. But you don't have to wait till tomorrow to get signed up for the emails that are going to start going out on Monday. You can message Swag Her Magazine. You can message me. You can you can send an email. I'm going to go ahead and put that email here. That's Jessica Canty at jessicacanty.com. Before I go, I also want to mention that if I'm talking about Swag Her Magazine Superpower, their superpower is they know how to scout for talent. Awesome. Welcome. They know how to scout for talent. They know how to highlight things in the community. They know how to connect their community, people who are going to help change their life. That's their superpower. They know how to bring you content that's relevant to what you need. So be like Swag Her Magazine. Figure out your superpower. People are waiting on you. I'm waiting on you to send me your email. I'm going to be waiting to see you all tomorrow. And for you to get your tickets to our workshop on Wednesday, let me double check. I think it's Wednesday, November 20th. Just before your Thanksgiving, I want you to fill up on something that's going to be life and career changing. November 20th at 7 p.m., the top 5 secrets, the 5 secrets that working professionals need to know to move from unfulfilled jobs to their dream careers. I'm telling you, y'all going to have higher salaries in 2020. Y'all going to have your dream team. I'm so excited about it. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you. Bye.